he gears up to attend the annual summit of the Group of 20 of the world's developed and emerging economies. Prime Minister will begin his day with his address in Queensland University. Narendra Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Australia after Rajiv Gandhi in the year 1986. While key trade pacts are what is on the top of the agenda of the Prime Minister, the focus will also be on improving bilateral ties. Prime Minister Modi will meet UK Prime Minister David Cameron, but before that a dinner with Japanese Prime Minister is also scheduled. Aditya is joining us live. Aditya, this is an elaborate, extensive tour of Australia. We're talking about the Prime Minister landing in Brisbane, where he will be addressing the G20 summit, but he's also visiting Canberra, Melbourne and Sydney, where he is going to be meeting up with the Indian diaspora.
Well, absolutely. That's the latest. We are hearing from the sources that Narendra Modi has landed in Brisbane. But the latest that we will show you in a bit is that Narendra Modi has entered the Sofitel Hotel. If I can ask my video journalist Vimal to pan and show you, this is the lobby of the Sofitel Hotel, where Narendra Modi is headed to inside this particular hotel. Just moments ago, the cavalcade of the Indian Prime Minister arrived here, and now he is emerging from his car and is headed to inside the hotel, this Sofitel Hotel, and thereafter is headed to inside this particular hotel. Just moments ago, the cavalcade of the Indian Prime Minister arrived here, and now he is emerging from his car and is headed to inside the hotel, this Sofitel Hotel, and thereafter, perhaps in an hour from now, he will be headed towards the Queensland University of Technology, where he will be speaking and interacting with the staff and experts on technology. And further, more in the evening, we'll have his interaction with David Cameron and the Japanese Prime Minister. Rajesh, a lot of euphoria and a lot of excitement in the Indian diaspora here in Brisbane. We just moments ago saw his cavalcade entering, and what are the people really thinking on ground?
People are excited, as I have told. Everyone is excited, and in half an hour's time or 1 hour's time, he'll be going to Queensland University of Technology, and there the person is heading, who's doing the whole show, is also an Australian Indian. So the excitement is to the part which I can't explain. Everyone is so proud. He's made all Australian Indians so proud, and we get our pride back after seeing Mr. Narendra Modi.
Well, that's the latest that Rajesh was sharing with us. Of course, the Premier of Queensland, we are told, received Narendra Modi down on ground at the Brisbane International Airport. And as I was mentioning earlier, Narendra Modi just moments ago, right behind me here at the Sofitel Hotel in the heart of the Brisbane city, has arrived in a big cavalcade, which also had the High Commissioner to Australia, who would be accompanying the Prime Minister all through his visit, the 5-day key visit of the Indian Prime Minister here in Australia.
Right.
So finally, the Indian Prime Minister here on ground in Australia. He'll be speaking in the G20 summit tomorrow. A lot of attention, not just here within the Indian community, but also the world leaders who are excited to really meet and have bilateral dialogue with the Indian Prime Minister.
Right.
That was the latest coming you from Brisbane. Back to you.
Aditya, talking about those bilateral meetings, you were saying that he will be meeting the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott in Canberra, but he's also meeting up with Germany's Angela Merkel, with Britain's David Cameron and France's Francois Hollande. So those are important bilateral meetings. Talking about the events that has been lined up, he's going to be perhaps also addressing the Australian Parliament in Canberra, is what we hear, and the Prime Minister of Australia hosting him in the MCG ground in Melbourne.
Well, absolutely. A line of events has been planned so meticulously that he won't miss on anything. As you were rightly pointing out, towards the end of his journey will be this big event in the MCG in Melbourne cricket grounds, where we are told that a lot of cricket players will be also participating. And it's not just the Australian cricket players. We are told that especially Narendra Modi has, along with this entire group of people from India, asked the veteran cricket player from India, Kapil Dev and Sunil Gavaskar, to also participate. So, Rajesh, will we be speaking to Sunil Gavaskar and Kapil Dev in Melbourne, apart from perhaps Brett Lee and several other Australian players?
I keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully, yes. Because there's also a big dinner being organized by AIBC, which is Australian Indian Business Council, which we'll be attending, and many of them will be coming there too. So we'll have a lot of opportunities to interact with the Australian business people, Australian Indian business people, and the cricketers and a lot of government officials.
But what we will see before that event, Rajesh, is that Narendra Modi will be addressing the Australian Parliament in Canberra. He will be also interacting with Tony about the much important bilateral. So a host of events have been really planned, not just the interaction with the Indian community, but a lot of events on the Australian government level as well. Let's speak about the event that will take place here, the unveiling of the Gandhi statue. We are told that it was perhaps a dream of Narendra Modi during his last visit as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, that there should be a Gandhi statue, and that's what the Indian community remembered and now are gifting back to him.
That's a historical new milestone, having a Mahatma Gandhi's statue in the park. We never thought, I at least never thought. And this has happened because of the relationship which is growing between Australia and India. And that is because Mr. Narendra Modi and Abbott are hands in glove together, and this is showing up. That's why we're having Mahatma Gandhi's statue there, and the amount of events which Mr. Modi is going to do for next couple of days, I don't think so any G20 leaders here is being recognized. He is in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Canberra, and everywhere he's got packed agenda. No other G20 people are doing that.
Well, that is the important message coming to you from Brisbane on the sidelines of the G20 summit, that Narendra Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, particularly has a very packed agenda, a very packed session all across. Of course, just moments ago we saw his cavalcade entering the Sofitel Hotel here in the heart of Brisbane. But certainly on the sidelines of the G20, he would be interacting with several key leaders. He'll be meeting the Indian community, the Indian diaspora, who are eagerly waiting to welcome their leader from India, the new Indian Prime Minister who has been there for almost 6 months now. A lot of world attention has been attracted that what exactly is this Modi wave? Who is this Narendra Modi who has been talking about the Gujarat model of development? And certainly finally he has reached Brisbane, and tomorrow he'll be holding this G20 summit where he will be having his speech. But today the moments where we can see Narendra Modi is at the Queensland University of Technology, where he will be interacting with the staff and the students, and thereafter in the evening holding a bilateral with the UK Prime Minister David Cameron, and further a dinner meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister. Back to you.